Welcome to Prince Short House. Exercise number 93 and 94, Sir Kailash Chandra. 140 words a minute. Be ready. Start. Sir, coming from the south, we are very happy that after a prolonged struggle, after a good deal of suffering by the people, and after several movements have been conducted by the people's representatives, Pondicherry has become one with us, though not still according to law. It is gratifying to know that the people of Pondicherry and the surrounding French settlements are very happy about their being reunited with the motherland, and it is in the fitness of things that the government of India has come and asked for sanction of expenditure there. With regard to Pondicherry and other French settlements in the south, what the government of India has been doing and what the chief commissioner has been doing have won the approval of all sections of the people. Pondicherry has been going through very difficult times, and there have been uncertain political conditions for the past so many months, and it is really surprising how the law and order situation has been so successfully tackled, and how the people after a very long time have been assured for perfect law and order in that area. Pondicherry has been notorious for the disturbances, and in the past 2 months the situation worsened because of lack of cooperation between the administration and the people, and it is after a very long spell of time that the people of Pondicherry are enjoying a stable government. The government of the day and the chief commissioner have been doing their best to establish perfect and cordial relations between all sections of the people. The chief commissioner is also trying to give the people of Pondicherry a perfect democratic setup. So it is not true to say that he has been doing things which are not in the interest of the people or which are not conducive to democratic functioning of institutions there. All the political parties which have been openly siding for the merger have been recognized, and it is with them that we have to get along till elections are held in Pondicherry, till a final decision is made by the people whether they would be with the Indian Union or not. Till then, the government of India have done a good thing in nominating people's representatives to official positions, so that there may be better collaboration between the people and the government. It has also been said that they have provided enough money for carrying out ordinary repairs and also for medical facilities and other amenities that are necessary to the people of the place. I would like to refute the allegation that the government have been partial to one political party and are trying to dominate other political party which also worked for the freedom of the people. The government have been taking a non-partisan attitude and have recognized the claims of the people. It is the people who have to finally decide, and the people's representatives have been given the recognition. All the political parties which were working for the merger of Pondicherry with the Indian Union have been recognized, and the predominant political party of the day which did contribute really to the merger movement has been given recognition, and that has the approval of the people. Moreover, it is untrue to say that the police is trying to dominate and is trying to force the people to submit by the use of bayonets and arms. The police is there to protect the people against the onslaught by undesirable elements in the area. So the police are doing a very difficult but a responsible job, and the Pondicherry people of Pondicherry have no complaint, and most sections in the settlement fully support the move of the government. Pondicherry will be with us soon, and we hope that the people of Pondicherry will vote for the merger of Pondicherry territory with our own. It was said that at Pondicherry and other places certain political parties which worked for the liberation movement have been ignored and that they are being suppressed. It is not so. All the political parties except the Indian National Congress, which was having a branch there, were formerly with the French government, and they did not want freedom. In the past 2 months they voted for the merger, actually the de jure transfer of power from the French administration. Today, Pondicherry is able to get along well with the other sections of the people, and the people have welcomed the merger with great relief. It was the people who were suffering, it was the common man, it was the worker, it was the ordinary people who had to depend on the mainland for the supply of necessities. They were put to a lot of difficulty before, and now they have got almost all the necessities of life supplied to them at a very reasonable cost. Now there is free movement of these essential things, and the people of Pondicherry are very happy about it. There was only one section grumbling about in Pondicherry, and that is the merchant class. They have made a complaint that with the stopping of licenses to import, and also due to the cancellation of many import licenses, they have been put to a great loss. The roast suffers because they will have to fulfill their contracts. I would like the Honorable Minister to consider this aspect, that whether the licenses that have been granted by the previous administration can be held valid, of course, subject to the financial interest of our country, because people also take this opportunity to cheat the government of India of their legitimate share of taxes and also the import duty. Similarly, there is one irksome feature which has been the subject of many a complaint by the people of Pondicherry, and that is the customs barriers still exist. There are lots of people who are going to Pondicherry every day, and these people are being put to a lot of custom difficulties. Next para. In the course of the discussion, it has been very ably pointed out by the large number of speakers as to how the rubber industry is in the grip of certain foreign elements and Indian monopolists at the top. We know that there are small planters and producers, but the hold of the Dunlop company was also mentioned. So far as the big industries are concerned, it has been their policy to capitalize the money and to put money in the reserve fund instead of utilizing such funds and profits for improvement of the working classes and for the betterment of the laborers. I was pointed out yesterday that the Dunlop company gave very high dividends. You will be shocked to know that while the company had money to declare a dividend of 40% and also to capitalize a part of the profits, it did not give at all a fair deal to the workers. On the contrary, they were kept at more or less the same old level where they had a kind of labor, practically speaking. Therefore, it becomes necessary to look into this matter. Sir, we are interested in the increase in production, and everybody is interested in the increase in production. The production of rubber, coffee, or of any other essential commodities or imported commodities must undoubtedly be increased in the country. But merely by appointing a board or by taking certain powers into the government's hands or investing the board with such powers, you cannot ensure increase in production. There may be slight improvement here and there, but materially you cannot alter the situation until and unless you inspire the real producers by making them see through their own lives experience. And increase of production means a constant rise in their standard of living, in their material and cultural well-being. Now that is why I say that it is very essential when the board is really being given certain powers for looking after the interest of the working class, to make these powers effective, and to make them effective would be to ask the board to work for the increase of the wages of the rubber workers or the laborers who work in that particular industry. Now that is not there. It is a very unhappy omission and a very sad omission if the intention of the bill is good. Sir, as you know, we had been told in the recent days very much about socialism, and we are not talking about socialism in its big aspect here at all. This is not our concern here. But if you at all really have such feelings, if you think that socialism is something which one has to swear by, even though the ideas of socialism were first propagated 1 century ago, then give some expression to it. But we know that there will not be socialism at all under you. All that we say is, if you swear by socialism, talk about socialism. If the members of the side of the house go to some other houses and hear lectures very seriously, they should come here and tell us that they are also going to increase the wages of the workers. When such measures are brought up, such occasions are good occasions for them to begin to cultivate this thing, because you have yet to learn the ABC of socialism first, and you cannot write a book or a poem or an article straightway, and we do not expect you to do it either. But if you are really sincere about what you are talking, you should try to learn the ABC. That is to say, begin with giving the workers a fair deal, giving them a living wage, and dealing with the workers here in this bill. You should make provisions for them. I do not suggest the minister that in this bill there should be provision that so much wages shall be given to the rubber plantation worker, or fix a scale and all that sort of thing. All that I have proposed in the amendment is that the board should be given that reorientation of outlook, should be given the direction that the wages have to be increased and that they have to consciously work for it. That is all that I demand in this amendment. Sir, we do not like that our workers should be exploited by the people, and he will not deny, because it has been pointed out that from that side of the house also that huge profits are being amassed. They cannot spend the money. The British who are earning out of this industry cannot spend the money. With all their luxury and extravagance, they cannot spend that money here in this country. They send this money abroad. Even then they retain some money in their hands. They would rather keep them in banks ideal than give this money to the workers for bettering their lot, for improving their conditions, which determines in the final analysis whether the production of the country would go up or not. Now, sir, I read with great interest the selection committee's report, especially the portion of the evidence appended to it, and I would ask you also, sir, to reread if you have already read this interesting document. You see here Mr. T.T. Krishnamachari crossing swords with an important representative of the British interest, the British rubber interest in this country. Now it is all a wordy battle. It is a sort of very interesting competition for being smart, one trying to overreach another in smartness. But at the same time, out of these discussions, it emerges that the British interests are totally unmindful of the interest of the workers, of the interest of the country as a whole. Although the British gentleman who came here to give evidence spoke of national interest and all that, here you will find many interests. Stop.